Hello, dear friends. Here we are, 10 exercises on peacemaking skills. Who doesn't need coaching and training on peacemaking skills? I do. And we are offering you the opportunity to join us because we are willing to learn and we are opening the opportunity for everyone who want to join us in this learning experience. We are not here to teach because we are learning too, but we are here to share with you what we have been discovering through the Spiritist literature. And we are here on Facebook Live at Cardiac Radio and also on at Cardiac Radio, the app or the website, cardiacradio.com. And you are welcome to join us. For those who are watching on demand, feel welcome as well because this is like a big virtual classroom. We want you to feel that you are here, this close to us, joining us in the opportunity of working out the muscles of the soul. And today we're going to talk about learning to live calmly. How easy is it? I confess to you, it's not easy. 5 minutes ago, we were in our Spiritist Center, and I was like, oh my gosh, we have to go home. Like living calmly today. It's not simple, but that's why we invited our dear friend, Heddy Patrick Garcia, to be here with us. Hello, Patrick. How are you?
Hi, Vanessa. How are you? Hello, friends from the Cardiac Radio. What a blessing to be here and try to exercise peace and to slow down our day. We are in the same boat, Vanessa.
Right? You said you were also at the Spiritist Center right before coming here, right?
Yeah, yeah. 10 minutes ago, we were driving.
Yes.
From
So
here.
Patrick is, amongst many other things, he has been fulfilling the present founder with a group of friends of the Charlotte Christian Spiritist Center, yes, in North Carolina, very close to the very first Spiritist Center that was created by the family Haddad with Chico Xavier, right? Hey, Patrick, is that correct?
Yes, and I have a surprise for you. I have been there yesterday in Yale College and have been with David and Edwina. If they are listening us, I want to say, hey, it was great to be with you guys yesterday and talking about Chico and walking around the town. And I saw the place where Chico used to be, the post office, used to visit every day sending letters. And Chico never stopped. So we are pretty close, around 1 hour and 20 minutes from what today is Burlington. But Elon College at that time, and Elon College, wow, it's a great place. Now I understood why the Enlightened Spirits chose those places. It's a
Thank
really
you.
nice place.
That's nice, Patrick. And, for those who want to know, there is a website for the center. Can you give us the website, please, Patrick?
Sure. It's
Yes?
Christian Spiritist Center.com. www.christianspiritistcenter.com.
And, for those who are watching us, uh, all you need to do is go to the website to see that this weekend they are organizing a special event that is going to be around the book Thought and Life by Emmanuel. You want to talk a little bit about it, Patrick, before we engage into our conversation? Yes?
Yes, sure. So, one of the best things, we're going to have Vanessa in Charlotte.
That doesn't.
Yeah. That's one of the speakers and helping us uh, to learn a little bit more. So the main theme is thought and life. And we're also going to receive many others, Spiritist friends from other states. We have some friends from South Carolina, from Georgia, from Alabama, from Ohio, from Massachusetts. that already registered to be here, and also another great friend that is Denis Soares from Belo Horizonte, Brasilia, with us too, sharing his knowledge and also playing some spiritist songs to us. And a nice thing to say, Vanessa, that is connected with the subject today at the fraternal meeting this weekend.
Yes.
We have 4 studying sessions there, and also 2 moments to practice all the teachings that we'll be learning, including the thought in life. So bringing the Spiritist message that talks about suicide, or how important life and being incarnated is to us, and giving food, and also disseminating information that life keeps going on. Death is illusion, so we're still alive, and for several people, uh, this is something really important to know, because still thinking that suicide is the answer, because should be the end of their lives or their existence. And actually, this we know now through the blessings of Spiritism, that life keeps going on, and will be disseminating in the community where we are located there.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. And friends, all you need to do is to go there, christianspiritistcenter.com, share the news, okay? And Spiritism is really spreading out. So let us say hi to our community here. Here we have our beautiful friends who make this moment become so special. It's this intercontinental connection that makes us feel forming a current of positive thoughts and feelings, because our planet is really in need of it right now. And especially the idea of becoming peacemakers. So hello, Eric and Danny. How are you? Good to see you here. Here we have Sarita from New Jersey. Sarita, thank you for joining us. And also Andrea Torres. Beautiful daughters who just graduated. We're very happy for you and for them. And here we have beautiful Leia. Thank you, Leia, for welcoming our friend Patrick to this community of ours, right? Karina, our psychologist from Brazil. Thank you, Karina. Oh, see, Patrick, our friend Publio. Yeah,
Oh, hey, Bruno, from Canada.
from Canada. And it's good to have you here, Publio. Always, always, always. Anna, Anna from Alabama. Our dear Anna, Anna will be there in North Carolina Friday. Okay, I was waiting for the arrangements, so I'm gonna reply to your email soon about when we're gonna be there. We hope to see you there. Rihanna from South Africa. Rihanna, we are still keeping the Spiritist book drive for the group in South Africa until July 4th. So feel free to go to kardecradio.com and verify the address where you can send the email, the mail the books or the donations, so we can send it to them, okay? Now we have here Rita Di Cassia. Thank you, beautiful Atlanta with us. Eloisa, look, Eloisa here.
This is a great friend.
Yeah.
Miss you.
It's beautiful. So it's good to have all of you here and all the other ones. And we have Karen and Mark Smith who are here, and they are sending us message. Thank you, Karen and Mark, for your beautiful hearts and the beautiful works you have been doing. Today, our program is dedicated to the exercise on how to live calmly. Does Spiritism address it? Yes, it does. Right, Aline? Yes. I know, Aline. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Aline. And Rudy from Sunnyside, New York. Oh,
Calmly present. Yeah, that is good. I still is slowing down, Rudy.
right. We're still
Yeah.
learning to slow down here after the tonight at the Spirit Centers, right? Okay. So today we're going to rely upon a message on the book Living Spring by Emmanuel through the medium Chico Xavier, chapter 136. It's a very short message, but to the point. We're going to read it through and then break it down together. Patrick and I, and you too. So let us go. Let us live peaceably. May you seek to live quietly, said Paul, publishing First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11. Living quietly does not mean rotting away in idleness. There are people whose physical body lies supine, shielded against the cold of difficulty by excellent bed covers of economic ease, but they are tormented mentally by indefinable afflictions. Living calmly, therefore, does not mean sleeping in stagnation. Peace derives from having a debt-free conscience, and labor lies at the base of such balance. If we want health, we have to struggle for the harmony of the body. If we expect an abundant harvest, we have to sow with effort and defend the crop with perseverance and care. In order to strengthen our heart against the assault of evil, we must know how to live serenely. How to live serenely, working faithfully on our commitments to order and to the good. The progress of the impious and the repose of the morally delinquent are stopovers at the entrance to the hell they are creating for themselves. So, do not strive to be quiet without effort, struggle, toil, problems. In keeping with the apostles' advice, however, let us live peaceably, fulfilling with courage, goodwill, and a spirit of sacrifice the edifying duties the world imposes on us each day for our own good. There we go. What is the first thing that comes to mind, Patrick, when Emmanuel is outlining these instructions to us? Would you like to share, please?
Yeah, sure. So, by coincidence,
Mm.
Vanessa, yesterday
Mhm.
we were talking in Raleigh, in a public meeting there. That is Raleigh is the capital of North Carolina, at the Light of the Soul Christian Spirit Center there, about the coming of the Spirit of Truth,
Mm.
and in a message of the Spirit of Truth. And in the message, it says, I'm the divine gardener that takes care of your mind when you're calmly. And one of the questions that I made myself is, how often am I calm and breathing or meditating or placing myself in the position to let Jesus come, or the divine come and work with me? So most of the time, as we said at the beginning, we are always in a rush, running everywhere, and we always have something to do, and our phones keep us also busy all the time. But uh, uh, I can also, I was thinking about, and we also told yesterday, but how can we should at least start our days and end our days with a prayer, asking the blessings to start our day, to receive inspiration. And also we have this knowledge that when our bodies are resting on the bed, our spirits is still very active most of the time on the spiritual realm. And we are uh, coming back for a few hours to the spiritual world. If we don't prepare our spirits to go to good places with a prayer, for example, and another very practical thing that I recommend, that is reading spiritist books
Mm.
will create shining lights on the picture of our minds, so we can sleep thinking about, for example, Paul Esteban, Alcione on renunciation, André Luiz in O Solar, or the Messengers, or Humberto de Campos and his teachings to us. So how many times we have been taken serious to let our minds get open to that.
Yes, you're right. It's such apparently a simple thing that makes a whole lot of difference. And to piggyback where to what Patrick just mentioned to us, the prayer. Kardec mentions in the gospel about the gospel according to Spiritism, that prayer is communication, thought communication. And it's just like what we're doing right now. For you and us, for us to be connected now, you had to log in the account of Facebook. Otherwise, we couldn't be here. So the prayer is this attunement. The minute you attune, you are in. And we are here enjoying this moment that is a true blessing. And the prayer is like that. We're logging in the account we have with God, which is unsurpassing. There will be a day we're constantly and consciously gonna be um, connected, because God is connected to us, but we need to be consciously co-creating with God. And prayer connects us, makes us feel prone to enjoy this connection with God. So we need to learn to pray. But talking about prayer, it's fair to say, Patrick, that praying is not a given, because nobody learns to pray. There's no course like, unless you go to specific religious institutions and organizations, and yet they don't teach you how. They just say pray and give you a formula. And you hear other people saying, but only Spiritism teaches you the mechanisms, the function, the role of prayer. When Kardec talks about in prayer, you can ask, you can praise God, and you can express gratitude. That's pretty much how it goes. And we learn how to pray. In the collection of Spiritist prayers, in chapter 28 of the Gospel according to Spiritism, Kardec educates us, saying, when you pray for this specific thing, think on this direction, not as a formula, but as an educator. Right, Patrick? So in
Yeah,
Spiritism, we can have a course on prayer.
yeah. And I believe that is was so important from Kardec and the spirits. I guess we have been for not only on this life but on several lives, uh, uh, telling ourselves that spirituality and our connection with God and divinity has been just exterior acts or magical formulas, or how we should repeat the same words for a certain times or number of times, and then we could get that. that we create that inside us, that this connection with God should be, or this talk with God should be so spontaneously as we are talking right now. Of course, it's not that spontaneous to me because language is still like difficult, but also talking with God because we don't have that habit to be speaking on that language. So we got to exercise, and as much we expose ourselves, in my case, to be speaking in English, we'll give him, let me be more spontaneous on that. And also talking with God or praying will be on that way. And in praying is so important also to prevent on us, for example, obsessions. At
Mm.
the study of tonight, we were reading a part of the Genesis from Allan Kardec, and he highlighted, was strongly saying that the prayer is the most powerful way to
Mm.
move obsessor from his intents against us. So only for that reason we should be praying, because we're still in a road where the evil, unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's everywhere. It's preponderant. So we should be defending ourselves, and the prayer is the most powerful way uh, uh, for them.
Yes, and Patrick, talking about living calmly in this moment of grounding, like breathing. And it's interesting because I remember when we once interviewed Dr. Herbert Benson from Harvard University, the one that found out that there is a natural the relaxation response in our bodies through a rhythmic breathing that we call nowadays mindful breathing. He called it relaxedly and slowly. And that in that moment, we are activating our parasympathetic system, which is deactivating the other one that pushes us to stress all the time. And when I ask him, what other ways can somebody boost this relaxation response? And he said, prayer. His
Mm.
studies already show that those who pray, they can even in like 8 weeks in a daily habit, they trigger this relaxation response that is going to change their gene expression. So there we have the mechanism in which prayer can be truly calming, not only for the mind, but for the body. Going back here, Patrick, to the main concept that Emmanuel says, living quietly does not mean rotting away in idleness. He says, living calmly does not mean sleeping in stagnation. I know people who tell me, Vanessa, I want tranquility. And I ask, what is tranquility for you? Having no problems. Okay, so then you need to evolve and reincarnate in Jupiter. Because,
Perfect. Not for this planet.
but first,
Even Jesus.
right? It's impossible. Not because problems is a definition we give, but we are going to be challenged. So living calmly is possible even when we are undergoing expiations, trials, and expiations. It is possible. It is possible for us to learn this grace under pressure. I'm learning to. I don't know.
Mm.
But that's the goal. Grace under pressure. Like Jesus. If we observe the body language, he used the technique of meditating very often, being in silence very often, and he would never react. So that's a rule of thumb. Avoid reacting. to circumstances. And I tell this to myself, like, oh my gosh, we need to do this. Breathe in and out. The world's not going to end. The world's not going to end. Take it easy, Vanessa. Breathe in and out and say, oh, I have an exam tomorrow. It's okay. How many exams have you had this far in your life as a student? It's not the first one. So why stressing yourself every time you go through one? We needed to give a new meaning to the current scenario so we can see it less of a threat. Physiologically, when we see something as a threat to my preservation, it becomes stressful. So I can change the meaning of life events so they become less stressful for me. And with Spiritism, we can give a new meaning to everything. Right, Patrick?
Yes. In the gospel, according to Spiritism, there is a message. I don't remember exactly the spirit that said that, but it says that when we look to the skies, the weight of the problems, the struggles in our lives looks like easier, lighter than we keep only look to the ground. And we were talking about like Chico Xavier, and he lived like calmly in this world, but in the book, the Gospel of Chico Xavier, I guess it's not already translated to English. It's most
No.
of my knowledge, yeah. But there is one part, he was talking about the life of a medium, but all of us are mediums. Anyways, but he said, every single day of my life, I had problems. If I didn't have in the morning or in the afternoon, I prepared myself because I knew that in the night, in the evening, I should face any challenge. So it's, I believe also when it's very important to us to be reasonable and don't create illusions in the spiritual position where we are, in the world where we are living, and then we can prepare ourselves to the big challenges that we're going to face. Because as we can learn on the messengers, the book The Messengers, for example, there are so many cases showing us that the problems, the challenges, the tasks that comes to our lives are great opportunities to grow up in a spiritual way. And also, I can remember like Alcione on the Renunciation, as on the very beginning, she says that we should change the approach and our understanding about pain. Because here on earth, we only understand pain or sufferings or challenges as something bad and not as the opportunity. How strong is our faith, is our confidence in God's will, in God's acts in life. So praying is also related with, in truth, how we are confident on the pedagogical way that God has chose to us to do our spirit, the pathway to the relative perfection that we should reach.
It's so interesting you're saying this because it made me like go back to Emmanuel here, and it's good that you're quoting from Emmanuel's books, like you're bringing us back. We would really emphasize, Patrick is reminding us, it's so inspirational to read these books, the novels, which were true accounts, but in a novel format. Emmanuel wrote 2,000 years ago, 50 years later. And then we have Hail Christ, Renunciation, Paul and Stephen. And in these books, as Patrick is saying, we have, as if we have personal trainers, and this is how neuroscience sees it. By reading these books, we form images, and by visualizing the scenarios that are being described and the Christian attitude behind it, we can truly create new connections in our spiritual brain and then imprint it in the physical brain and more easily gravitate to manifesting in our behavior. So Chico became a vessel of the healing of the soul for us because it's training us to our full potential. And talking about potential, peace, says Emmanuel, in the message we're reading, Living Spring by Emmanuel, through Chico Xavier, chapter 136. Peace derives from having a debt-free conscience, and labor lies at the base of such balance. So today, make plans to become debt-free. Oh no! Ay, ay, ay. No, Vanessa, don't touch that subject, please. No, but who is debt-free, right, Patrick?
Yeah.
Who is debt-free?
Mhm.
And he says, if you are not, don't worry, just work. But not in your job only, inside. Work to achieve this balance. So we need to work to achieve a calm life. A calm life is based on labor. What is work, Patrick? Let us recall. Spirit's book, Love Work. It's a love life. It says, work is every useful occupation. There you go. You don't need to force yourself, but to be useful, always, constantly. So let us outline here, Patrick. What could be the useful way? How can we usefully use our time to achieve this ceaseless laboring opportunity?
Yeah. Uh, I guess the best way, the easiest way, and the hardest way will be helping the ones that are around us. So there is also another book from Emmanuel with Chico. It says, "How can we plan or dream to change the whole world, or to help the whole world when we cannot help two or three people inside the four walls in our home?" So that should a good start point that we can try to exercise and to try to live calmly too. Sometimes it's hard. Yeah, yeah, and but also working at home, working with the ones that are close to us, but also in our workplaces with our neighbors at the supermarket, at the
Mm.
traffic jams. We could be helping others and working. We usually, I guess, I don't used to think, but when we listen the news, especially about politics or war, uh, we could work for the Commonwealth to help our planet, not contributing with bad thoughts or negativity or creating the mental image of darkness that is everywhere. And I don't know for what is the reason we keep feeding our thoughts and our spirits with those type of news. But
Yeah. Mm.
if we are trying to change, we can work and help others, sending good good energies, good thoughts to others. Chico Xavier said that uh, he will not be on the shoes of the politics. Yeah, he was glad to not be in the place of the politics because many of those that have these important tasks to be leading us right now, they on the other side of life, they're going to face the result, the actions from every single choice they are making right now. But if in one hand we are not president or mayor or senator or anything like that in the country, but we can lead like our kids, our children. We can help and lead people in our spirit center, or we can also lead people on Facebook or on
Yeah.
Twitter, telling people, hey, let's create a network like Kardec Radio, like to spread good news, like to spread light everywhere. And of course, as in the Gospel, on the chapter 14th of the Gospel says, so and there is such beautiful message that talks about that mom that go away, leave her home, and comfort, message, give food, and then from there go to the hospital to see the father of that family and telling her daughter, hey, you should do something by yourself. Donate something from yourself. And the gospel says donating care, donating time is donate something
Yes.
from from yourself. And is she spiritist? It doesn't matter. So there are several ways that we can be working and being useful to others. But especially when we try not making money to ourselves,
Yeah.
but doing something to others, it's a good sign that we are in the right way, right, Vanessa?
No, I think you're saying exactly to the core of the message. To live peacefully, to live calmly, we need to become selfless. Because when we become the center, I confess for myself, huh? If I am here thinking about I need to do something, I create a commotion. Because then I want everybody to help me fulfill what I need. And then we're going to struggle because if everybody is only dreaming to achieve what they want, we're going to struggle a lot. But if I compromise and I say, the general good is my goal, then it's possible to live calmly. Then I don't feel so much in a rush. I don't feel the need to achieve individual goals, but I prioritize the collective goals. I need to learn, and it's probably one of the first reincarnations that we are prioritizing the general good. So, doing this exercise, oh my gosh, I'm desperate. Why? Oh, because I needed to do something. Okay, hold on. The world's not going to end. And is it something that is going to benefit everybody? So, we can go one step back, breathe in and out, and say, okay, I just did it at the center. I confess to you guys, because I have Little Virginia and we had guests, and I was like, man, it's almost 10:30. We need to leave the center. I don't want to kick people out of the center. It's like people are still there. We love being there, and everybody has the right. And for a moment, I was like, and then I said, you know what? You know, it's it's not exactly a personal goal, but it includes my personal goal. And I was like, no, no, no. I have no right to create this stress on everybody. So I stepped back and I said, okay, I'm gonna wait, but say, So I started switching on and off the light of the center just to play with people around. Like they're like, we got it. Like, sorry, friends, but you know. There are many goals to be achieved here. We need help. So we were actually inviting everybody, and people were very cooperative, and we made it. But one more point that Emmanuel makes, Patrick, is when he says, it's interesting how he phrases it. Do not strive to be quiet without effort, struggle, toil, and problems. Let's observe how he phrases it. Do not strive to be quiet without effort, struggle, toil, and problems. In other words, Patrick, he's saying, do not worry, be happy.
Yeah. Yes. This is faith, right?
It is faith.
Yeah. This is faith. Yeah. When we get, I guess, desperate or, oh my gosh, what is going on? So, being grateful. Sarita, perfect.
Yeah,
I agree with that too. Yeah.
yeah.
Be grateful. Yeah.
Great.
Helps us. Yeah. Yeah. But, and also when we get rebel with, this, everything that is going on in our lives, the struggles still and the challenges. So Joanna de Angelis, she says that the only way that the good spirits cannot help us, our spiritual guides cannot help us, and when we becomes rebel. So we start to fight mentally with with God, with our angel guides, or the name that we could give to them, but they are there to try to help us. If we don't slow down, and stop and meditate, if we don't pray, if we don't breathe, there is no way for these thoughts come to us or to the good spirits to inspire us. So, in the beginning of the book Liberation, there is that the tale about the red fish,
Mm,
the red little fish.
yeah, in the book.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to tell
And
them?
then, yes, well, it would be hard for me in English, Vanessa. You
No,
can
no, no.
help me.
Look, so let me summarize quickly. In the preface of the book Liberation, Emmanuel, he reminds us of an Egyptian tale, and it goes pretty much like this. And the book is already in English. It's Liberation by André Luiz. The preface is by Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. It says that there was a little red fish that lived in a pond with many other fish. And every fish was a little chubby, and he was very little and tiny, and he was always like bullied, etc. And one day, because he liked studying while the others liked like to just, be there chilling, doing nothing, he started studying the bottom of the pond, and he found a little entrance, and he started going through the pathway, and from the pond to a lake, from the lake to the river to the ocean. He met new friends. He started studying universities there. They had newspapers. And one day, reading the newspapers of the ocean, he got to know that the little pond where he used to live was going to dry out. So he went all the way back to tell the friends, hey, watch out. And they're like, we don't believe there is this world you're talking about. The pond is all there is. No. And what do we need to do? So he talked to the king. Well, you guys need to go on a diet. And that's where the problem was. And you have to work on yourselves to really go through this tiny, narrow pathway to get to the ocean that is abundant and endless. And of course, people didn't believe it. And they pushed him away. He went back to the ocean, and years later he read in the newspaper that the pond has dried out. So here's a little bit of the tale. Forgive me if I didn't say the details, Patrick, but
No,
this.
yeah, yeah. And there is one of the parts on the first time when we get on the ocean, that little fish was so surprised and excited with everything new that he got too close for a whale in the ocean, and then the whale opened the big mouth and then eat the little fish. Didn't it? He was inside the big whale, and then on the tail it says that on that moment of was there inside what the little fish did. He prayed for the god of the fishes there, and then the whale put the little fish back to the ocean. I don't know if you remember that specific part, but when I was reading
Yeah.
last time, I thought, what that means. The
Yeah.
whale that eats and gets the
Right.
little fish
Yeah.
and was surprised. And I thought, well, sometimes you get too, wow, or I can do anything, or I have a lot of possibilities. And we don't see how dangerous sometimes when we are not prepared, even in the work of good, for stuff that can come and catch us. But even if we are on those moments, the answer for that on the tail is what the fish did, what he could, was praying with the heart. Praying was the answer, and the God of the fish sent the answer for him and worked. So if we are, and of course, when it's so hard, it's easier for me now because I guess stuff are
Yeah.
calm this moment on the life.
Yeah.
But if we are like sick, or we just lost someone, or we lost our jobs, or life in family is not good. So the gospel is not a medication to us to be talking, or Jesus didn't come here just to tell nice stuff that we should like just pay attention when everything is okay. But the medication, if for this moment, if you're facing that, all of us are facing that in such a way. But if you think that you are really in a bad moment right now, or there is no answer for your problems, so there is always an answer. So everything in life changes. Time is the answer. And I have a joke, Vanessa, that life is always that. It's up, down, up, down, up, down. Everyone that is living is up, down. And I used to say, the only one that's only that I tell you, yeah. But I figure out that also after the one that did is still on the spiritual world, up, down, also on the other side too. We're still
Yeah.
learning and falling and stand up and falling again and learning, and this is life. And when we see in our past, in this life, when we have been in the down part, we, there was moments I thought I cannot deal now after 10, 20, 30 years. We are here, and when we go up, we can go higher because we have been learning, and we learn how resilient we are. And at least we could learn not to make the same mistakes again. That is something.
Yes.
So we get wise, like learning for our experience. So we made mistakes. Okay. It's not good, but okay. So we are learning. So
No, you're right. And here we have Teresa Castro saying that she met you several years ago at the Alto de Souza in Maboro with Cesar from Manaus, and she remembers you because you smile a lot. And she says that something to do to become calm. So there you
yeah,
thank you. Right, Patrick?
yeah. The best thing,
Wow.
friends helps us a lot to have calm life. Yeah. Big hugs, Teresa.
Yes, that's what it is. I remember Charlie Chaplin's music. Smile when your heart is aching. Na, 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 na. And smiling, really learning to smile. We smile not because we're hypocritical, but because we know this shall pass, as Patrick is saying. Everything shall pass. Everything shall pass. And we need to teach our children that. When they're like, oh my gosh, it's okay. This shall pass. Everything passes. They're upset. They're frustrated. They're like, I say, hold on. Remember, you fell, you're hurt, now it's bleeding. But you remember last time? It passes. And it shall pass. We need to pass on this affirmation. So here goes an affirmation for us to learn to live calmly and not striving to run away from challenges, problems, as Emmanuel is saying. Learning to tell ourselves when we're facing the obstacles, oh well, this shall pass. This shall pass. I don't know how yet, but as Patrick is reminding us, this shall pass. This shall pass. And it's a beautiful teaching by Mother Mary. She was the one who taught humanity that this shall pass, because her suffering as a mother is, no matter what goes through in our lives, it's never gonna reach a tenth of her experience, because we're talking about somebody who volunteered to help humanity, birthed, gestated and birthed the governor of the planet, and saw the most cruel death of somebody who never did anything wrong. Jesus was not expiating. And she learned to be composed, though not understanding everything, because she surrendered herself to God. And in God, everything passes. And when we don't have strength, we remind ourselves of Mother Mary and say, you know, this pain can never be this close to what she went through. It shall pass. It shall pass. And we're going to learn how to go through with greater calm, in greater ease. And as Patrick is reminding us, I've been through many obstacles and here I am. This is another one. And as you know, Jorge Godinho Neri, who is the current president of the Brazilian Spiritist Federation, he always reminds me, Vanessa, when you overcome an obstacle, be prepared, because a bigger one comes along. And he's very optimistic, very peaceful, but he constantly reminds me saying, oh, you're done with that one? Remember, a bigger one is coming ahead, because it's like exams in life. You graduate and the next level, there is a new challenge. It's a different challenge of another level, and big deal. That's why we're here. Right, Saul? Amen, she's saying.
Yeah. And Vanessa, I guess we should always remember that we have 24 by 7 someone that loves us, that understands us, that know our past, know our history and where we are right now, and the goals that we should reach here, that are our spiritual guides. So every one of us, we have someone in the spiritual world that loves us a lot and is sent by God to be with us. So it's like a doctor that we can call anytime and comes to answer, a psychiatrist and a life coach or anything like that. We can call, and when we call, if we do that with faith, will be at our side. We should not see, but the answers will start to come when we put ourselves in the position when we are open to receive those answers. So in those moments of difficulties, so always remember that we have this guard angel. So this is an answer from the Spirit's book. So Spiritism, a lot of Chico's books. We have Chico had Emmanuel, Tivaldo has Jonah de Angelis, and every single one has one. You have one too that are listeners. Vanessa has one. I'm a troublemaker, Vanessa. I should have a lot. So only one I don't know would be good enough for me. But all of us, we have someone that really loves us and understands our trials and our past, and can address us what we should learn, or what we need to do. And most of this, most of times, the answer for our prayers are no. No is the best answers for what we're asking in life. So there is another thing that we should receive very calmly, because I don't like to receive no's, Vanessa, in all this. So, but we should learn that.
Yes, and you're right. And this is an advice for parents and educators. Our children need to be allowed to be frustrated to become resilient. And we're not saying that we are going to purposefully deprive them of the needed, but when circumstances happen, you just let it be because they need a lesson. I'll give an example, Patrick. We bring Virginia every Spiritist meeting we go. First reason, because we don't have a babysitter or family around. And second, because the spirit mentor said, Vanessa, you know that you teach by modeling and we learn by watching. So they need to be inserted in the adult world from the get-go to easily gravitate to this world. One of the reasons why our teenagers are having a hard time going back to inserting themselves into the adult world is because we have pushed them away so much from childhood on that it's scary to go in. Who wants to be in this adult world that is so different? So, but I remember every time I bring, sometimes some people look at me and say, oh, poor Virginia, she's here, she could be playing. And I said, that's not a spiritist view, because lucky are the ones who are there, because we are not in this life for this apparent fun and creating illusions for children that their lives is only pleasure. And that's why we build a generation that is fully unprepared to the issues of life, because we are trying to give them pleasure only. They are rarely going to become determined and resilient. They need to learn self-control first and foremost, and to know that these places are truly a blessing. They are a true blessing. And that's how we can also promote peace in families. Bring your children to the Spiritist meetings. Bring your children to the Spiritist centers. Do not think that they are going to be better off without it. It's the opposite. It's the best thing that you can give to them. You're going to be at greater peace, and they are going to be in greater peace too. Right? Right, Patrick?
Yes, and even for the children, and also to ourselves, the way for to find this peace that we want so much, it's also studying, especially Kardec's books.
Yes.
So if you can, if you have the opportunity to be in a town, when you have a spiritist center, go there, join the School of Spiritist Studies, go to the meetings, to deep study the books, and join all this online videos, events that Kardec Radio can offer to you, and go deep on the teaching. So when we are reading, when we know the events, the causes of everything that happens in our lives, that empower us, make us strong for face and to deal with everything that we should be facing, like to grow uh, in our pathway. So if you want a very practical way, another one, uh, look for the spirit center closer to you, or start the spirit center yourself.
Yeah.
Start studying. Invite people that are suffering like you. So there is no professors in spiritism. All of us, we are students. So start yourself. Invite your husband, your daughter, your neighbor, a worker, co-worker, someone, your partner, anywhere, and say, hey, I want you to start studying the spirits book. The one join me? What is that? So it's to make me stronger, or to trying to find peace, talk about spirituality. Start that. So when we study, uh, 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 make us much calm also. At least I feel that way, especially in the end of the social activities at the Spirit Center and the mediunic activities too, when we also can do spiritual charity to the spirits that are suffering and they come to the Spirit Center to receive such a spiritual help. And I will tell you, Vanessa, sometimes I say, there is the peace of the world and there is the peace of Christ. So several times I say, hey, it's Wednesday night, so I want so much to stay at home and watch a movie like, I don't know, Finding Dory with my kids, or uh, TV show, soccer, or anything else. So, but today I need to go to the Spirit Center. Then I go, okay, I go. I know that I need to go, then I go. And then I come back, I feel so, wow, feel
Yes.
so much better. Wow, thanks God that I came, and now I come driving like much better than. And if I have choose the opposite to go for a party, to a club, or just be like watching TV, then in the end of that, the peace of the world also charge us a high, very expensive price.
You're right.
Yeah, this exercise you'll be doing, most of that are not that pleasure, don't give all the pleasure to us at the first moment, but when we get that test done, so we feel something. It's like a feeling. There is no way to explain. Maybe it's being hard to our listeners to understand what I'm trying to say, but because it's a feeling when the activities are done and when we do the closing prayer on the end at the end of the activities. But it's I guess it's that part of the peace that the gospel says that we can reach here on
Eh,
earth. Not the perfect peace, but not perfect happiness,
mhm.
but that one that is possible to us.
Exactly, Patrick. So here we have it, friends. The breakdown of how to live calmly. And since these are 10 exercises on peacemaking skills, let us close these moments by singing the Peace for Peace. Peace for Peace by Nando Cordell, sung by Marco Magalhães from Canada and Steve Shepard and the Children of the Spirit side of Baltimore many years ago. And this is an opportunity for us. And if Adilson is there, Adilson, if you don't mind us, please share the lyrics and we can sing together, okay?
He's in the world, begins with me. When I choose love, inside I'm truly happy. When we are kind to one another, we know true love and greatness in our hearts. The time has come for building peace on earth. We don't believe in the lack of love. Peace for peace. To our children, peace for peace. Our forest, peace for peace. And for the courage to transform. Peace for peace, in truth and justice, peace for peace, and in the freedom, peace for peace, and in the beauty of loving you. Peace in the world begins with me. When I choose love inside, I'm truly happy. When we are kind to one another, we know true love and greatness in our hearts. The time has come for building peace on earth. We don't believe in the lack of love. Peace for peace. To our children, peace for peace. For our forests, peace for peace. And for the courage to transform. Peace for peace. In truth and justice, peace for peace. And in freedom, peace for peace. And in the beauty of loving you. Peace for peace. For our world, peace for peace. In faith and hope, peace for peace. And for the courage to transform. Peace for peace. In truth and justice, peace for peace. And in freedom, peace for peace. And in the beauty of loving you. Peace for peace. To our children, peace for peace. For our forests, peace for peace. And for the courage to transform. Peace for peace. In truth and justice, peace for peace. And in freedom, peace for peace. And
in the beauty of loving you. Thank you, friends. Thank you, my friend Patrick. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa, for having me here.
Thank you. And friends, if you're going to be around North Carolina and Charlotte this weekend, there's a beautiful event inspired by Emmanuel's book, Thought in Life. Connect, because it's an opportunity for all of us to be united once again. God willing, we'll be back in less than 24 hours with another friend and the opportunity of exercising peacemaking skills. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Vanessa. Bye-bye. Good evening, everybody.
Bye.